We have the main artist, Zubin, in studio. Good evening, Zubin.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. It's so awesome to be here.
You know, it's my honor to have you in studio. You know, I've been waiting for this interview, so I'm very excited. That was obviously When We Were Young, a song you've recently released, and it comes from the EP as well.
Yes.
And we're waiting on another one.
Yes.
Another EP to come soon. First, going to ask you, what was the process like writing that song?
I just wanted to make a song that spoke about missing the good old days.
Yes.
You know, it sounds cheesy, but I really wanted to make one of those songs, and this song, from the production, from the songwriting, it just flowed. The coming of age nature and topic is I would say a core of the music I make.
Yes.
The coming of age indie music.
Yeah.
And I just really wanted to make a song that represents that.
So tell me, where were you born? What primary school kind of did you go to? What was your family life like?
I was born in Paul, raised in Paul.
Come on.
Ek is van die Parel, even though my Afrikaans is not. It's my weak point. It's my slechte punt. But I'll
You're doing well so far.
I grew up in a music family. Both my mom and my dad are musicians.
Wow.
They studied music at university, and that's how they met. On grad and dad, rest in peace, is Frank Peterson. And
what?
Yes, so he.
I didn't know that.
Frank Peterson was one of the pioneers of bringing music education to schools around the valley and in the Drakensberg area. The music school in Paul, Frank Peterson Music Center, was named in his honor. The environment that my family, that I grew up in, was really just so supportive of nurturing what the child and what both me and my sister. I have a sister also.
I was waiting for that part.
Really just supportive of trying to nurture what the child enjoys and not trying to impose what we want our child to be. So I naturally gravitated towards music. So I started playing the drums when I was 3, 4.
Wow.
I pitting on my mom's pots and pans. It's nothing special.
No, but it takes
nothing huge. But I started playing the drums at the age of 4 or 3, and then a school choir, and eventually started taking lessons to play the drums at Frank Peterson. So in high school, I drifted away from music and played sports. I played cricket, throughout high school.
When we move on to high school, obviously now, grade 8 comes, you're new to the school. Yes. What school did you go to?
I went to Bridge House. I got a music scholarship bursary, so I had the opportunity to study there. Played in the jazz band.
Wow.
Because I remember I said I played drums.
Why your music is the way it is as well.
And I just really loved. That's when I started, finding a love for jazz music. I went to the Grahamstown Jazz Festival, and that opened my eyes to just music. And there's more to music than classical music, because I grew up in a space where classical music was the be-all, end-all, because I played in orchestras during primary school at Frank Peterson.
Like you said, you also played... Oh, for everyone who just tuned in, we are talking to Zubin Peterson right now. Someone sent me a message. Who are you talking to? We are talking to Zubin Peterson at the moment. And we get to know a bit more about his life journey, where he kind of grew up, and the way he lived. You said you played cricket in high school.
Yes.
And do you think you'll still play it?
I admire cricket from a distance.
Oh, okay.
Right now. I enjoy it, but music is
the
one, if you want to say that.
When it comes to high school, was there like teachers or people that kind of motivated you? Were you motivating yourself or your parents? Who were those people in your life?
There were a lot of adults that just, kept me on the straight and narrow just by, because I wasn't the most academic person, child student. I really enjoyed music and cricket. And, when it comes to that point in term where your parents are like sitting you down and like, my kind, jy moet harder werk. And there was a few instances like that. I think people that really kept me grounded, firstly, my parents. Someone who was really influential, my math teacher in high school. And then also an Afrikaans teacher, ironically, even though I don't speak Afrikaans, but she was just really supportive And shout out Miss Albertine.
For one question that just came up in my mind, we spoke about your sister. Well, not really. You remembered her.
Yes.
How was she? Do you feel like she played a part in your life, especially like in high school? Because I know you guys are a bit close in age.
Yeah.
So how was your relationship like in high school?
For sure. I think with siblings, when you're younger, you don't really. I wouldn't say you don't have a relationship, but the relationship isn't on a. It's more on a like, oh, this is my like brother, sister. We play in the sand and we like or whatnot.
Yeah.
But as time progressed, I would say COVID was really a significant time in just my sister and I's relationship, where we actually could talk to each other like human beings and talk to each other about different things
because you
and
were
understand
confined.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, the environment you create. It's like we can talk about anything right now.
Yeah.
Whereas back then it was more, we play in the streets and like it's fun, we eat together. But as you mature with siblings, I'm so grateful to be able to get to establish a relationship that's more than just playing in the streets or whatnot.
Or just someone you eat with every night.
Exactly.
I did ask you to send me some songs,
yes,
some of your favorite songs, and all the songs that you sent me are some of my favorite songs. Some of them I was kind of keeping to myself because there's some of those artists that you just have that you don't want to share with other people. But obviously, after I play the song, I want to ask you why I chose the song and why do you like the song. So first up, we obviously have The Role Model with Old Recliners.
I recently found this song.
Recently?
Man.
No.
The last 2 weeks I found this song.
No. That's
on my Spotify. Yeah.
You write from experiences or just feeling?
Just watching rom-coms with my sister or watching rom-coms.
Zubin, tell me a bit more about, I'm going to first talk about the first song.
Sure.
Because this man, Role Model, Old Recliners, why did you choose that song?
I didn't listen to new music.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to get into a space of creating instead of... there's this thing with creatives, like if you overconsume on the thing that you're creating, a lot of times what you want to create doesn't come out the way that it wants to, because there's so many influences, voices, and influences that are pulling your interest in. And a lot of times that clouds the vision of what you
are creating.
Are wanting to create. I'm starting to listen and catch up. I'm starting to catch up on music. So this song was a song that I found on my Spotify through just listening to music and albums that I always wanted to listen to but didn't listen to yet. And I just loved the way, just the nostalgia that the production brings to your
the
ears.
song. Okay. Because I've realized you in your own music even you talk about nostalgia a lot.
Yeah.
And not just Old Recliners, but this song of Sam Fender and Olivia Dean, who's currently blowing up right now, that also has a bit of nostalgia in it, more of the longing of a relationship and the way it was. So the way, well, if I had to sum it up a little, you're very much into nostalgia.
Yeah,
and
100%.
In your daily life, do you always look back or are you living in the present? I feel like it's a deep question for me to ask.
No, I love it. So I'm a very sentimental guy. When I'd hang out with friends and the hangout would be over, the next day I'd be like, wow, yesterday was such an awesome time. Like in that exact chair, we were sitting here and like in this exact space, we were hanging out, and I'd like reminisce on a lot of nostalgic moments and just moments where pure happiness and just love, but it doesn't need to necessarily be romantic love. Just love, like of
the warm feeling of a moment.
Warm feeling. I reminisce a lot on those things. It can be dangerous if you just stay in the past the whole time. But recently, I've really just used that as fuel and used my music as an outlet to reminisce
about
and
the things.
yeah, but also not just in a sad way.
And live in the present, because there's so many good things happening.
Exactly.
We
Yes.
talked about your high school life, talk about primary school life. We also talk about your sister. Firstly, which university did you even go to?
I went I went to Stellenbosch University.
Okay.
I studied a BA in international studies. Essentially what it is the major subjects are political science, history.
Okay.
So it's a pretty broad degree. You touch on a lot of aspects of the political, the historical, and there's also economics.
Okay.
So it's a great degree if you want to just get your feet into university. I was first year in 2020.
Okay.
It was quite an adjustment because for the first 2 months it was business as usual, and then
Yeah.
March we were just like,
Everyone
see you in 2 weeks, and
The 2 weeks
next thing
became-
you know, we graduated. But initially, I went to university because I just wanted to show my parents that I have a degree and I can.
Yeah.
I'm at university, and as time went on, I obviously found a love for what I was studying,
Yes.
but music was at the core of everything.
I have one question. You said you studied international studies, right?
Yes.
And you said it included political science and all those
Yes.
things. Don't want to get political with you, but we are going into Freedom Month, and you know it's very important to kind of have, especially in our country, we do have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
We can, I don't want to say whatever we want, but you know there is that kind of freedom. Where does that play into? Do you feel like it plays into your music when it comes to freedom of speech, kind of, and living in the country that we do?
Yeah.
How do you feel like it works with your music? Do you feel like you can say anything? Do you feel comfortable kind of sharing your music in that manner?
I used to create music based on what I hoped other people would enjoy.
Okay.
I would say for the first couple of years, I was just creating songs that, I hope this person likes this song that I make. And that is not healthy, but also I had to go through that to then realize that, wait, I also have my own brain and I also have my own perspective on things. And so grateful to live in a country like South Africa where you said, yes, you can't say anything. And everything, but you can express yourself, and you can express yourself. And I think as the youth of South Africa, we really need to learn to express ourselves a lot more without worrying about
The next person.
what that person's going to think or what these people are going to think of me online.
I do agree with you there. That is one question I had to ask because we are in the Freedom Month, and I feel like
Love that.
in radio specifically, we have the freedom to say what we feel, but obviously always restricted in terms of not just what we think, but what others
For sure.
also might think. So I wanted to know your perspective on that when it comes to music.
And just to add on to that, I think as creatives, it's up to us, it's our duty to speak about things that a lot of people are uncomfortable to say. Because if you look at 30, 40 years ago, people were making, whether in a South African context, struggle songs.
Yeah.
People were in America, people were making like protest songs, protest music. And I think now we're in a time where it's so important for the youth, but also as creatives to express ourselves and express what we were thinking, because we can't just scroll,
all the time.
forever.
But I have one question. I know you haven't mentioned anything about it. I don't
Sure.
know if you still classify yourself as this, but you used to classify yourself as an introvert. you know?
I still classify somewhat of myself,
Yeah, as an introvert.
as an introvert.
Okay.
I'm sort of, I enjoy my own company. I enjoy the isolation and the solitude, but it's also important, we are social beings as humans, to get out
And connect with people.
connect with people. Exactly.
Yeah. You were in university, left university, started making your own music. Like you told me earlier now, you were, in the beginning, you were kind of making music for other people. When was, if you had to say about one song, whether it's a demo or a song, that you kind of felt like this was me. Do you have any songs like that?
My two favorite songs up until today that I've released are Letter for You and Find Myself. Basically, as the title suggests, finding myself, but also going into a space of solitude, going into a space where I can sit with myself in this world where there's so many distractions, I think it's so important for us to just sit in silence and be comfortable with that silence. But Find Myself is a song that I really love up until this day.
I didn't know that. I knew you always loved Later For You.
Yeah.
It's a very good song. I'm not going to
Thank you.
complain
Thank
at
you
all.
so much.
But Find Myself is not one I've heard you spoke about or kind of post about as much. But it's a very good song, and it's also honest.
Thank you.
And the song Honest is, is also very good. But yeah, it's nice to hear kind of from you. That's where you feel more of yourself.
Yes.
So I was going to ask you, like, what is, as you spoke publicly, online, you are bringing out an EP this year. So tell me a bit more about that EP.
So this EP that I'm releasing, it's an EP of about, we're still finalizing it, but it's an EP of 4 or 5 songs.
Okay.
6 songs, crossed fingers. but the EP I'm releasing this year is, I made it over the summer, between December and we're still finishing it up. So I would say like March, April.
Okay.
I'm not going to say I've experienced love like that, but I think the type of love that isn't spoken about enough in music today is innocent love. Just like honest, innocent love that isn't what a lot of the songs a lot of the songs out there are today. Because I think at the end of the day, love is just the greatest emotion that us as humans can
give each other,
give to the world. And like I said, it's not just romantic love, it's brotherly love, appreciation. Just the energy is so strong, and I think we need more love in the world. There's also like a slight bit of heartbreak and unrequited love.
Because what is love without heartbreak? If you don't, you won't know what love was if there isn't heartbreak.
Exactly.
Yeah. Me personally, I can't wait to hear this EP. And as you say, it's happening this year. So people on KC 107.7, follow him, subscribe to the YouTube.